Welcome to Yeet Check. Get your shoes on. The game is about to begin.
Welcome to episode 1 of this NBA and AFL related podcast. My name is Cam.
My name is Matthew.
Good. Well done. We're off to a great start. And welcome to the first episode of Yeet Check.
Bang.
In the introductory podcast, you would have discovered that we had a effing hard time naming this thing.
The heat check. The spot up, like a spot up shooter. The ball boys garbage time would have been the best one because this is absolute dribble that we're talking about.
So welcome to 4 quarters of glory. Get your shoes on. Let's get into it.
Let's yeet this wheat.
With 2.5 left in the quarter. Half court. Devin Harris. He makes it in! Happy birthday!
Traits that make you go,
Thoughts on Pelicans now? This year, Zion and Steven Adams.
The beefiest front court
I am
you've ever seen.
Terrified for everyone that's going to face them, but also so excited for Zion to literally lay someone out into the brick wall that is Steven Adams.
I think one of the best tweets I saw about it was like someone is literally going to die running off of Steven Adams screens and Zion screens. Like you've got two of the widest boys in the NBA just clogging up space. And like, have you seen Steven Adams literally does ad commercials for steaks?
I mean, I eat beef all the time. Like, I eat smashed steaks, like, you know, all the bloody time, mate.
But then also add like Lonzo into the mix as well.
The skinniest boy. And so, why? That is a weird combination. I've just thought about that then. You got the two thickest boys in the comp, and then the two skinniest boys in Brandon Ingram and Lonzo.
Yeah, they're like an NFL team. Now you look at an NFL team and you've got like a few chunky boys on the offensive line. You've got a quarterback, like he's got pretty big biceps. He's a big looking dude. You got
Thick arms.
Thick arms, you know, much like both of us. And then you've got the punter, which is always the position I aspired to be as an NFL player because it's the only body type that I could relate to.
I've got no grounds to talk about NFL at all, but why don't they ever just employ an AFL kick? Why don't they just, like, instead of just yeeting it as hard as they can into the sky? Like, I understand the idea that, like, kick it heat high for, like, airtime, like literal airtime. You want to keep the ball in the air so they can run up and catch it and all that sort of shit.
No.
But imagine if they pinpointed the ball like an AFL kick. I think it'd be game over.
I
keep cutting you off, but Ben Graham has played for them before.
Yeah, he played for the Eagles.
And wasn't he quite good? He captained someone.
I think so. And
he lost in the Super Bowl.
Did Sav Rocker go over there at some point as well?
Severio's had a go as well.
But like, yeah, you're right. They went over there just as guys that could just yeet the ball as far as possible. Ball into the air. But I don't know. What's happened is there has been some like Australian guys heading over there playing college and stuff. Yeah. And like them like, all right, just kick the ball as far as you can. And he's gone and drop punted it and it's spun backwards and done crazy things and everyone's just like galaxy brain exploded, just like there is another way to kick the ball. Like,
traits that make you go, ew.
I've been overdosing on Woj bombs and the first one, so free agency opened.
Yes.
And, you know, you're sitting there and I've got the shakes because I haven't had a Woj bomb in 3 to 4 weeks.
Exactly.
And the first one came through. It was like the Detroit Pistons have signed Mason Plumlee for 3 years, $25 million.
The big plum.
When it happened, I was like, I mean, sure. No, there's no context to what this deal means at the moment because nobody else has signed any others. And then it was just like, oh, and they've got Jahlil Okafor as well. So Jahlil Okafor came and then, like, meanwhile, they've got Christian Wood on the roster. Yes. Who was a guy I really wanted for the Suns. Like, Christian Wood's a good player, breakout year last year. And then he went to the Rockets. And they was like, oh, well, let's just sign Jeremy Grant for $20 million a season. Like,
is that how much they're giving him?
Yeah. Plus, they've got Blake Griffin as well. They call it the 5 because we want to play 5 of them at once.
Well, that wasn't... Denver did that last year with Bol and old mate... The human milk bag was playing as point guard.
Oh, the human bag of milk.
Yeah, sorry, I got the order wrong.
Nikola Jokic. No, it's kind of like, they did see that and they saw everyone was going for long boys. Everyone wants a long boy these days. Like, you know, a bit of wingspan.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram type.
Except they've, you know, he's opened the JPEG and, you know, he opened it and it's like 90-degree angle. He's like, oh, people want tall boys. Okay, right, all right.
All the rest of the bloody front office is like, no. He just goes to the button. Big boy! Press the big boy button. And they all just start walking through the door. Mason Plumlee, Okafor, Jeremy Grant.
There has to be a plan, surely. Like, you know,
do they have a point guard?
Yeah, Mason Plumlee. He went to Duke. He's got good fundamentals.
I just like the idea.
He was in the dunk contest once.
Was he?
He was when he played for Brooklyn. Yeah.
Fuck me. Talking about the draft, you've constructed your 3 top stylish boys. I came up with this idea, but never constructed my top 3.
Never contributed. But
give me your top 3 stylish boys.
Well, the first
Starting
one...
from 3, sorry.
Started from 3. Well, I've got 4 there. No, I reckon my favourite one was James Wiseman. Like, I don't know, there's something about, people like to, they've started mixing up. They've got the suit, but with the Air Force Ones, or, a suit with a T-shirt. Well, he did all of them. So he wore a suit with a T-shirt and the Jordans on, I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to find a photo. Where's a photo of the big fella?
Well, there's links in the Google Doc. That's the beauty of
it. Oh, Cam! That pose you've put in, very, very camel toe-ish.
The next one was Tyrese Halliburton.
Great name. Sounds
Another
like it's
name.
a delicious Lebanese dish.
Someone who I was disappointed didn't fall to the Suns until I found out we drafted a guy with goggles who plays air guitar when he hits threes.
He's great. Why is he not number 1? Wait, is this in order?
It's in no particular order.
Oh, well, this should be number 1.
No, there's more goodness to come. He looks like a can of Arizona iced tea.
He so does. He looks like Nana's pillow.
He looks like the couch with the plastic on it that you can't sit on.
Yeah, you can't sit on. That's Nana's good couch. Never go anywhere near there.
Oh, number 1, potentially on this list, is LeVar Ball's hat.
Why is this on the list?
LeVar Ball at his finest. There's layers to this as well. It's like Shrek's ogre onion. So first of all, the hat, which just says "I told you so" on it, and like no sense of humility at all. Like he said they were going to be in the NBA, got drafted number 3. He's like, fucking told you guys, like, you idiots. But like, take a step back and consider, like, his second son is going to the NBA right now.
Very cool.
They're doing it on a Zoom call and everything, and he is just decked out in big baller brand gear.
Even his swords are bloody.
He's got slides on.
Oh my god!
Later on, didn't Big Baller Brand go out of business?
I'm pretty sure they did. I know they declared bankruptcy or something.
That doesn't mean that he, as like the owner of the brand, can't just have boxes of that stuff out the back. And this one here,
we're moving to the next one.
Yeah, Zeke Naji's family.
This looks wholesome.
It is wholesome, but look at them all so happy, and like there's so many colors going on. Like the colors, even the painting in the background. Like Mum is going absolutely bunter. There's so much happening that I hadn't even taken time to look at the painting until now. But like,
it does look like a phoenix. Oh no, it's an eagle.
And that's my top 3 with 4 photos. We made it.
Thompson recoups it. Now Simmons, a smart play here because Thompson is forced to handle with the shot clock running down. There's Thompson wildly throwing it up.
They did the draft digitally this year, like via Zoom. Obviously, they couldn't be anywhere, coronavirus, all that. So every draft prospect had like this real nice like box filled with 30 different hats because you can't narrow it down like where they're going to go. It's a crapshoot really. So RJ Hampton got drafted by the Bucks, and as tends to happen, was immediately traded to another team. So like he's just got drafted as the best moment of his life. Like his mum's given him the hat, he's put the hat on, and then like in real time they've gone like, and we believe this pick is going to Denver or whatever it is. And Dad just grabs the hat and just goes, throws it against the wall.
Did it hit the wall? Didn't it? And it was the most satisfying moment on the television.
But it was
when you
such an aggressive throw.
Like actually just went. Like as hard as he could as I throw my own hat, he hits the wall and then just slid down the wall.
I'm surprised that he didn't just go straight through the wall.
That's right. I've been tuning in and out the whole draft up until that point. I just sat down, looked at my computer screen, and I saw
what an entry.
Grab a cap and throw it against the wall. Funniest moment of
what
the
was
whole draft.
funnier though was after that as well, they just couldn't figure out what hat to put him in. So like there was a guy, I didn't know if it was like a cousin or a brother or something, and like for some reason I had the cap thing like in the front of frame, and like RJ was really at the back of the room,
awkwardly too.
And this guy's just frantically pulling hats until like eventually he had like, I don't know if he sort of realized like, oh wait, this is a national live broadcast, and he sort of just wheeled the hats off to the side, and he just sat there without a hat on.
That was like emotionless, that moment. It was so weird.
Oh, he got over him being drafted by the Bucks in a millisecond. He went from like thank you for drafting my son to fuck the Bucks in like half a second.
I like the idea of Giannis watching that broadcast and he was like, what is wrong with the Bucks?
The one that I loved was your beloved or second beloved Washington Wizards.
Yeah, we got
When
Denny.
you took Denny
Advia.
and he said on the broadcast that he learned to speak English by playing Call of Duty. So I just want to mic him up during the games and seeing what sort of profanity is coming out of his mouth. Like, can you imagine learning English from a bunch of 11-year-olds on Xbox? Like,
I know, it'd be so racist and so immature. It's not even remotely
do you think
funny.
he's going to come across any like actual problems where he says the wrong thing to someone? Like, I'm nervous for him too because, you know, Xbox group chats are not the place to be learning how to speak English
Not at
as
all.
a second language.
I wish he learnt from Halo though, and it was just the Halo theme. That's how he learned English, and it's just a series of.
That would have been a great cut if they just cut to him on the broadcast and he's just singing the Halo song.
Hey Terry, you want some? This bitch empty.
We're stealing content now. This is not good. Dill Buckley's podcast, very good.
with
AFL.
Dill.
Sorry,
Friends with Dill.
Friends with Dill, Dill with Friends, or something like that. I still listen to it all the time. But he had Christian Petrarca, which is also AKA Ben Simmons' best friend, I can only assume. And they were telling stories about Ben Simmons and Christian Petrarca hanging out. Christian Petrarca being a AFL footballer for the Melbourne Demons, Ben Simmons being a NBA player for the Philadelphia 76ers. There was a moment where they were talking about hanging out and how he got more perks than the friends that he brought.
That sort of trip in 2017, we went and watched Philadelphia. We went behind the scenes, like we went to the buffet. We met the coach, and they were like in awe. They were like, "This is ridiculous." I was like, "Oh, we'll get courtside tickets," but I was the one that got the courtside tickets. They were up in the bleachers, so I was on like the celebrity row.
That's so good.
Then after the game, Ben's like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, "Oh, we got a train ride back to New York because Philadelphia's an hour and a half away." Like, "Oh, we got a train ride back to New York." He's like, "Oh, don't worry about that. Like, cancel it. Like, we'll go to a few nightclubs over there." And
In Philadelphia?
In New York. So we drove down. Like, I drove. This is even a funny story. I drove down in Ben's Range Rover, and then they had to get a cab. So it cost them like $400 American, I reckon. We go to these nightclubs, and they're like, "This is Harmsy," and they were like, "This is unbelievable. Like, this is so cool." Like, we're in a nightclub with Ben and a few other players, and then the music stopped. This is in One Oak in America, New York, and the music stops, and they're like, "All right," like Ben goes to me like, "Oh, I got a little surprise for you," and I was like, "What do you mean?" Microphone, like LeBron James in the building, like LeBron comes, J.R. Smith, Dwayne Wade.
At what point do the boys that he's brought with him say, "No, I don't want to meet LeBron James. I just want to go home. This is too much." We got nosebleed tickets where you got courtside seats. There was a $400 taxi. What's going on? I want to go home. Where do you fit into the spectrum?
Well, as a massive NBA nuffy, I would just never say no. I'd just be like, please introduce me to LeBron James. But
you're like,
I think if you get to the point where like it happens most nights you go out where like Christian's in the club, like he's in there, he's with Ben, he's like sending Snapchats with LeBron.
Yeah,
like,
but your mates are like
and
kind of there, kind of not. You know, they're going behind the tape, but they're in the corner. It's awkward.
Oh, I'm not even saying you're not in yet. You're in the line. Like you're outside.
Oh, so, yeah, wait,
you're
so-
lining up. Like you're outside. I'm assuming it's freezing cold. Our off season is winter time over there in America. So you're in the streets. It's freezing cold. You're probably not prepared because you just thought you were going to the basketball, and all of a sudden you've taken a $400 taxi to another city, and you're standing out in the line. Like that's probably the fuck that moment for me.
Because they got waved through, didn't they? Ben Simmons and Christian Petrarca.
I assume Ben Simmons gets waved through pretty much anywhere he goes.
6'10". And also,
Also,
an athlete
he's
making
also Ben
200 something $million a year, American. So you're not like for no amount of money. Imagine if like Christian just like says, "Sorry, man, like you gotta pay $5,000 to get into this VIP bit." I'm Ben Simmons' +1. Are you saying yes? If you hear whisperings, you don't even know if LeBron James is
You're
there
not
yet.
sure. I mean,
But Ben Simmons is there.
but where else are you going to go? You're in New York.
You've just spent $400 on a taxi.
You're in a different city to where you woke up, so you've got nowhere to go to sleep.
Oh,
You've kind of just got to hang around
Central-
until Christian's ready to go.
But is it a $5,000 hang around? It's going to be like $5,000, $400. That was the weirdest way to say five and
Well, I
a
mean,
half grand. But
in for a penny, in for a pound, really. In for 400, in for 5,400.
I think there's a moment where I go, look, you've had a good run. You've done all right.
Do you pull the calculator out and you go, look, it's $5,000 to get in?
I don't have $5,000 in my bank account at the moment, so I'm fucked.
Or it's only $400 to get home.
I can take this $800 round trip, or I could spend $4,200 and maybe sniff LeBron James's nipple.
There's a chance that LeBron just drops $5,000 when you're in there and you can just scoop it up, though.
No, that is true. He is worth a lot of money, way more than any of us combined would be worth, assuming we're not worth several $100 million.
Well, I think we've both established that we're not even in the capabilities to spend the $400 initial dollars on the taxi. So,
and that's full time on Yeet Check episode 1.
Numero uno in the bag.
Boom.
How's it feel? The camera went flat. We're off to a flying start.
Yeah, baby. Jank is king, and Yeet Check is the way forward. Tune in next week where we ask our good friend Capo whether lacrosse is cool and whether he can justify as much, because we're not sure.
Spoiler, it's not.